Gotcha.
Thank you.
Okay. Are you
I am ready.
ready? I'd like to call the meeting to order. Will you stand for the Lord's Prayer, please? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Hunt.
Present.
Mr. Minor.
Here.
Mr. Garwood.
Here. Fellas, have you had an opportunity to review the minutes of April the 2nd, 2015?
I have, sir. I move a motion to be approved as presented.
And I'll second that.
They'll stand approved as presented, Pat. What do you have for us?
Well, we have several housekeeping things to take care of. Bob gave me at last meeting something to stick in the file that had to do with the Integris Energy Services natural gas, not a report, but a yearly annual filing of the report. And I presented this week to Bob at his request minutes of April the 17th, May the 1st, and an unofficial copy of the resolution 2014-45, and it has to do with the closing, or for the closure of the public grade crossing on Esterly Drive. And he requested those, and that resolution, by the way, went down, but he asked me for those, and I presented them to him. I gave you the unapproved minutes. Littletonia Fire Call fire listing for the first quarter 2015 should have been in your step packet. The bid results for the mowing of the properties and bid results for the road material bids, the results of that. And there were no bids received for the hauling of road materials. They actually came the day later, and it was a big mix-up. They were dated the 31st, which we wouldn't have gotten on time anyhow, but I didn't get them till the 3rd. So we need to address that situation. Right, Robert?
Well, we need to re-advertise.
Right.
And we can re-advertise, use the same ad, just change the dates.
Yeah, I created another one and put re-advertise for it.
Right, and then we can open up the bids at the next meeting, which is what, May
The
7th?
At 5 o'clock, and I had them sent to me and up until 5 that day.
Right.
Okay. This would be resolution number 2015-35. Do you understand what we're doing there? It's because we didn't have any bids the last time, we have to legally re-advertise it for next time. If someone will make that a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hung,
Yes.
Mr. Garwood,
Yes.
and Mr. Minor.
Yes.
Okay, resolution number 2015-35. Okay, also, the mowing bids, the bids for the mowing of the cemeteries. Last time you tabled that because we needed to run the through the state of Ohio to make sure that they're A-OK. I forget the legal term for it, but, and also we need to make sure that we get workers' comp and liability insurance coverage, which I don't have, I haven't requested that because I assumed they just didn't want to send it unless they had to. I don't know, but I don't have.
We need that. Was he okay through the state?
Yeah,
Okay. There's no findings of recovery or
For
anything
both?
like that?
And did you do the other one too?
I didn't do no, I can.
The Hayes one?
Yeah, I didn't do it.
We shouldn't we? I mean, you tell me.
Well, it doesn't matter, but
'Cause you're not-
this is the guy that
Right,
had
and
the
it's-
lowest,
Yeah, he had the lowest bid, right.
because he was $190 per cut cheaper.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
And, you know, with 25, 30 cuts a season,
Mhm.
that's a chunk of change, 5-6 grand.
Okay. We'll have to,
So I don't have a problem offering, is it Hefner Lawn Care? What's the name?
yeah, Hefner Lawn Care LLC.
Okay. Offering him what? We had talked about 1 year?
Oh, I put it in the ad as 2 year.
Oh, well, it's 2 years, whatever was in the ad.
It was in for 2 years, 2015 and 16.
So we're up to 10, 12 grand savings.
Yeah, we've always done 2. I didn't think to,
Okay. Well, if that's what was in the ad, 2-year contract.
Yes, it was.
On the condition that he provides you with workers' comp, proof of insurance and that.
okay.
I thought that was in the bid that it wasn't.
Oh, you know what?
When
I
we
thought
opened
of,
the bid, I thought I said.
oh, maybe it is.
Okay.
Hang on, maybe. I think I have
I
it with
thought
me.
both documents were in both bids.
I will look after it.
Okay. Well, if he's provided it, then we're fine.
Okay.
But we need proof of that.
Okay.
And we need proof of that every year.
Annually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes the dates quit in the middle of the year on some of those.
Yeah.
If they renew them in the summer, then we don't, you know.
Mine's August.
Yeah, they come at
And then
different times.
You get a quarterly certificate most of the time.
Okay, so we're going to award the mowing bid to Tim Hefner, which is Hefner Lawn Care LLC, and it is for a mowing of, for mowing of all the properties we have, $575 per cut of all of them. And that included not the house, but the ball field, and we don't mow that all the time.
Right.
So that's going to make a difference too. We don't start mowing that until
That's
after they're finished, right?
Right, till one baseball.
So that'll make it, most times the check would be for $475.
Right. And what he'll need to do is hook up a view mount so we can fine tune this.
Someone make that a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Hum,
Yes.
Mr. Minor,
Yes.
Mr. Garwood.
yes.
2015, 36. The 911 contract that we had last meeting that you all got copies of
Right.
and read.
Tim Wagle, he's in Canton tonight, so he can't be here, but he explained to me why they needed our authorization. So I'll just read you some of my notes. The system that we presently have, you know, it's 11-year-old equipment, it's antiquated equipment. We're running on Windows 2000 and Windows XP. We got HP towers. And what they'd like to do is go to the next generation, get new towers, and stay ahead of the curve. I asked him, well, why do you need our consent or our input? And he said, under the original agreement, 60% of the townships, municipalities, everyone that's covered by this system has to consent to amending the rules. So that's why we're being asked to approve this.
And that was developed by the 911 committee?
Yeah, yeah. It was something that was just put in there that, you know, I was unaware of that. I don't know if the county-
your recommendation that we move?
Well, my suggestion is that we, you know, approve this resolution to support an amendment to Columbiana County's existing 911 final plan.
Also move.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll second that, Pat. I know Tim has been kind of the forefront leader with the 911 plan, and going into the next generation of this, I think Tim should be commended for the work that he's done with this, because I know he's been working on it for a couple of years now, so.
He's done a lot of work.
Yes, he
He
has.
was really knowledgeable.
Yes.
If he could have been here tonight, he could have educated all of us on this system.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
And he said if anyone had questions, just to give him a call. He's kind of hard to get a hold of, but eventually you'll find him.
Okay. Received a renewal for the Frank Gates Company workers' comp, and this year the group savings, they portray it to come, are projected to come out to $1,420 savings, and the let's see what the cost is here. I've forgotten, I didn't write it down. Well, look, it's on here. $829 is our cost for them to monitor the workers' comp.
Who is it, Pat?
What is it? How much? $829.
Who is it?
Oh, it's CareWorks Comp, it's called, Frank Gates Company. It's a company we've always used for a long time, so. 2015-38 for $829. Does someone want to make that a motion, or?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
And Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
The next little bit of information I'm going to give you is, has to do with the Board of Elections. I confirmed all the voting places for this time, but I received a phone call from, this just is information, we don't have to do anything tonight. Phil's is not going to do it anymore, down at the garage, you know,
At the tractor?
yes, at the tractor place. So I thought that was coming, but she's sending a letter and I haven't gotten it yet. But I did call down to the Board of Elections to ask them what they might suggest. And that, upon talking with Adam, he would actually like to move the voting precinct out of Crestview School too, because they say it's really cumbersome to get in there and find somebody and all that kind of stuff. And we just threw around, do you think it's too much to hold all three here?
As long as it works.
I mean, you don't have to do anything tonight, just think about it.
How would we set it up? How do we set it up with the two?
Well, we've only had the ones
The
thus
one?
far.
Mhm.
I've just been having them in the next room back. We can easily set up, we've had it in this one before, so we can easily have 1, 2.
He's going to come out someday, and maybe you can meet with him and so forth. It's nothing that we need to know tonight, but before fall, we have, so they have time to mail all the notices out.
Well, I know some of the places in town, they'll have two voting precincts at one pavilion in the park, and one side is one precinct and the other side is the
Yeah.
other. So, I don't know, maybe they can set up something like that here.
Even the hallway, probably,
You could use the hallway. or split
the
green.
hallway's plenty big, and I don't know how he'd think about that.
Yeah, and he can look, see what he thinks.
His
But
con-
you could even, I mean, that room's big enough, you could divide it in half.
His concern was the parking, and I said, well, we've paved it, and you've got parking on both sides as well as everything out back. I don't,
I don't think parking would be an issue.
that's what I felt, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
if you had-
Have them come take a look, see how we...
Yeah, he's
we
going,
lay it
he's
out.
going to do that, but he's not going to do it right away. But I
Right.
told him I'm kind of letting you know how you guys felt about it. And not that anything's concrete, but I will return the call. I didn't want to wait too long because it takes a while to set all that on
Right.
his end to get it all.
Well, they need to notify everybody,
Yes,
too.
yeah. And he said they do that like end of June, July, somewhere along in there. Not too far ahead because people will forget, but...
Yeah.
But this spring's gonna stay the same.
Oh, yeah, we're the same yes, Yeah, it's too late to switch that now, and they knew that down at Phil's too, but I appreciated them letting me know and not waiting till the last minute, so.
Right.
Okay, let's see. There's
And
a...
our other thing with the road levy,
Mhm.
when you spoke with them, that we can't do it this fall, we gotta wait till the
Yes,
fall.
I have that. Right, I went down to, and talked with John, and first time it can be put on the ballot is the next fall, in November of 2016. In 17, we will still collect on the levy that's in force now.
Right.
Then we have that time, if it doesn't pass, and we have 2 more times before.
Right.
So anyhow, will be no action on the levy that, as we talked about last time. Road not materials, but yes. Resolution accepting bids for the road maintenance materials.
Well, historically, we've always accepted all of them, and then we call as needed, correct?
Correct.
Did I read that? Normally, we accepted all the bids for road materials,
Yeah.
and then that way it gave us some latitude
37,
when we needed materials.
38.
Because some places are out when you call, or they don't have enough.
Right.
It would be a resolution accepting all bids presented for the 2015 road maintenance materials, which is Central Allied, East Fairfield Coal, Tri-County Asphalt, Phoenix Services, R&J Trucking, and Lafarge. And that resolution number is 39. If someone would make that a motion.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Hung,
Yes.
Mr. Minor,
Yes.
and Mr. Garwood.
Yes.
This is what I gave to you. That's a copy of what I gave to you. I'm thinking maybe that's all.
Okay. Well, this is the only other thing we have left over from the last meeting.
Oh, yeah. I thought I picked that up. Maybe I didn't. I think it's in here.
Because
Okay.
we've covered everything else, right?
I believe
From the
so.
last meeting.
I believe so. Mhm.
What I gave Pat was the contract with Hill Corp. And correct me if I'm right or wrong. The signing bonus was like $500 for the quarter acre. Royalty was 15%. And it was a 1-year contract.
Correct.
And it was for the Bunker Hill Cemetery, which is .25, quarter of an acre, and that. And then Ben called me earlier in the week regarding the deed as to whether or not we actually owned that place. So I gave him the deed reference in the cemetery book,
Right.
the state, and then cross-referencing it, he ended up getting the deed that's recorded at the courthouse. So, we do own it.
Absolutely, right.
Oh, thank you.
Just needed something to, needed something official.
So we need to make a decision whether we're going to do this or not.
I'll move the motion that we do it.
Okay.
And just a couple questions, you know.
Sure.
Where we're at within that unit.
Mm-hmm.
If the township wouldn't sign this, what's the ramifications of that?
Well, you know, we have to be 500 feet from any unleased parcel and 500 feet from the border of any unincluded parcel into a unit. So by virtue of that not signing, we have to stay away from that, you know, that parcel of 500 feet, which would effectively cut off one of the sides of the unit. We wouldn't be able to drill down and pass through.
The lateral goes below the cemetery then, to
Yes.
the south even farther, and that acreage would not be included?
Absolutely, it wouldn't be included, right? And if they would even drill it, would they even come, you know, down to where they are 500 feet north or, you know, beyond or before the cemetery itself? They probably just wouldn't even do anything like that and just shrink in the side, effectively cutting out that side of the unit. So, you know, we would basically cut out everybody else that would be along that unit as well. So all parcels would be included, you know, excluded like that. This will be effect, I guess.
So you're saying you couldn't use the well site?
We could use the well site, but we would not be able to drill a lateral underneath or anywhere really near
Okay.
that cemetery. We would have to effectively cut off one of the legs and then
Okay.
shrink in the unit, you know, cutting out the legs. Otherwise, it would be around that as well. Yeah, around that as well.
I'll second that motion, John.
Mr. Hom?
No.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Social Security or the ID number? Oh, you must have-
Well, no, it would be the township's federal ID number.
Yeah, not the state. Tax ID 346000977, okay.
Because you'll have to put that information in.
Does it have to be signed by you guys?
I looked at other documents that were reported from the township trustees, and only President signed. So I sort of structured it that way in that, you know, he was the signer.
And this
as
is the
president,
page that you want?
Yeah, as a notary. That would be the memorandum of lease, which is recorded, and then the actual lease, obviously the operating language would be the front part of that, which would both be signed. This is the newest one. I just put today's date, and I
He has
added
to
in-
sign here?
Right. This is dated for today, and I just included in the reference for the deed. That's the
So
only difference
you've
there.
already,
Yeah.
that's different than this?
It's different than this in that the date is dated today, and I added in the, the reference, the previous deed acquisition reference.
So I don't need this one, this is the one?
Yeah, it's the same document. Keep it signed,
Okay.
so you need to compare, but yeah, this is the,
Okay.
that should be the one that we would autograph there. Wait a minute.
Posted, I was going to get that. I forgot to stick it in there. You're going to sign here?
Also, for payments, that's again dated with today, today's date, April 16th, and it would be signed as such. There you go.
I'm not signing it.
You're not going to sign it,
No,
nor...
Barry can sign,
the
the
last-
vice chair.
Okay. Thank you.
Memorandum is today with the deed reference, that's the only difference from the previous.
Is that it?
Pardon me? Oh, I was just waiting on him to do his thing.
Well, we can do it now. Then.
Okay, yeah, I think you can.
What do you got for us now?
All right, well, as far as what we've been up to, on the nice days, we've been out replacing several culverts that were rusted out and/or plugged that caused some issues for us with that heavy rainfall we had last Thursday, as well as cleaning some ditches with the backhoe. We had only really one major issue with that. Had high water on Metz Road below the water treatment plant there. They had to put up high water signs after I was contacted by the Columbiana Police Department.
On Metz Road by what, please?
Sorry, I didn't sign that.
Be just down from the water treatment plant, that
Okay.
big squash.
That's okay.
Flood in there. But most of the other places, just mostly where water ran out and got on the edge of the road.
Okay.
We had like 1 3/4 inches there last
Wow.
Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've been spent most of this week cleaning up from that. We're also using the white tractor with the broom and the blade to sweep off loose gravel and fill washout. We've also been out patching holes as needed.
I know, I tried to be boom and blue. Okay, go ahead.
We've also been out patching holes as needed.
Okay.
And on the days of inclement weather, we've pressure washed all of our trucks, equipment, snowplow equipment, and put the snowplows away for the winter. So hopefully I don't see those for quite some time. On the rainy days, we've also been greasing, checking over and detailing the trucks, preparing them for summer work. Had a couple issues that I reported to BJ Batterson from Hillport. One was the pad entrance on Woodville. The road was really starting to break down in front. And the other was we were getting sediment coming out the driveway at the McNichol site, especially on that heavy rain. It come out and put a lot of sediment out onto the road. Reported
Is it
them
on
both.
Crestview?
Yeah, on Crestview at the McNichol site. Reported them to BJ, and both issues were addressed in pretty timely fashion, so he come out and got them both taken care of. I also have been working on the specs for a new truck, as we talked about in previous meetings. I have that all together, talking with Fred and from Hills. The contract with ODOT actually runs out at the end of this month. So if we okay this, we're okay as long as we have it signed.
Okay.
They anticipate getting it again, but there could be a delay in it, and there could be price changes on it too. But what he has prepared for me is good, as long as we was okay tonight.
Okay.
So if you guys are...
That's the state contract you're talking about?
Yeah. It's basically pretty close to the same specs as the last truck. There's a couple things that I picked up that were available that I thought would make a better truck for us. But pretty much it's the same. The total price for the cab and chassis.
I want to make sure I get a copy of whatever after that's all signed, if you would, please.
Sure, do you have a machine?
Next one.
Next
Okay,
one. Kim's over there, isn't she?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm going to take that I have to do it this month, but IDs, so there's a activity, and then we'll leave it
It's
at that
a-
as well, but yeah.
That's a federal line number,
That's perfect.
okay? Is that where you want it down here?
That's all I need, and then we'll need to W-9, but we can do that later. I mean,
I don't have one with me.
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
So I need a resolution to do the truck.
So moved.
What was the bottom dollar amount?
It is a 2016, and the cabin chassis is $83,898.
That's $10 too much. No. 83,898.
Yeah, that's right there.
Okay. At this point, we'll approve it, but I'm not going to do a PO tonight.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that all right?
Right, I don't need
You
that.
don't need that?
No.
Okay.
Because we're just authorizing him to submit
Right.
everything, so we can get into this contract.
Correct.
Okay, just give me a second here. 2015, 30.
And I would just need a signature on here, Bob.
Okay.
Contract, please.
I'll second it, Pat.
Okay, just give me 1 minute, please.
Yeah.
2015, 41. Is it called a contract? Is that what it's called? Is that what that's called?
Specs.
Okay.
I would refer to it as specs.
Okay.
It's a model profile.
There you go.
That's what they call it.
Okay, let's be specific.
But this new truck would replace a 1996 truck that we've gotten 20 years of service out of. I think in the line of work that we do, to get 20 years out of the trucks, you've gotten your life out of it, And like I said, I think it'll be a good truck to keep here as a backup and to do dirt work and stuff. But as far as, snowplow, it's time to update.
I'm going to call it the basic truck, right? It's we'll do accessories later, huh?
Yeah, the cabin chassis is what this
Right,
is.
okay.
Right.
I'm sorry, Carl, did you make that motion?
I did, I moved it.
Okay. Sorry, I was... Barry, you're second.
Second.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
And if you could just give me a copy of that sometime, that'd be good.
A copy of that paper that Bob signed. Sure.
The whole thing, if you don't mind. Just
You
throw
want
it
a
off.
copy of all of them?
Yeah, I'll throw it off.
Okay.
Yeah, because the second part's the financial summary.
Oh.
I'll make a copy of it.
What are you doing there to run this for?
The state forum.
What?
The state forum.
Okay, well, we're good with that. Thanks, guys. I don't have any new news to report on the sign grant money. They said that they would have something to us by no later than April 15th, but I have not heard anything one way or the other.
They should be penalized that everybody else was having 15, right?
That's right. So I don't have anything to report with that. Did get the new phones in, and Kim's and I's phones are now switched over to Verizon. The last date you should have for AT&T would be April 8th.
Last date, okay.
Okay?
And we started the new one on the same date, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And then we accepted the road material bid, so I'd like to request some POs so I can start getting some.
Okay, let me just look at it. Number 42. That's a resolution number, not a PO number. Okay.
You ready?
Mhm.
For East Fairfield,
Mhm.
in the amount of $5,000 for limestone needs.
Okay.
Gentile Trucking in the amount of $5,000 for asphalt millings.
Mhm.
And lastly, Tri-County Asphalt in the amount of $10,000 for hot mix.
Okay.
That That's all for tonight.
Okay. I'm going to put each one of them in a different resolution number, but if you want to approve them all, I'll just go from there. East Fairfield Coal, 5,000.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
2015-43 resolution number is Gentile Trucking for 5,000.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
And Tri-County Asphalt, 215-44 is the resolution number.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
We didn't do anything else with purchase orders, did we, tonight? No, it's all resolutions. Okay, purchase order number. Number 10, number 11, and number 12.
10, 11, 12.
Next purchase order was number 10, right? And we had nothing else, we didn't have money, did we?
No, maybe.
Yeah, no, we didn't. Those are all resolutions, okay. Got it.
So in that order, East Fairfield 10,
Mhm.
Gentile Trucking 12,
Mhm.
11,
Mhm.
and Tri-County 12.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I have one more thing, but I'm going to wait until after John goes to do my last thing there. So I'm done.
Well, we could do them now.
I'm going to see what John has to say, then I'll do mine.
Oh, okay. All right.
Did we sign in?
Yes.
What's the name on it? I'm sorry. Agent Adam, what?
Adamski.
A-D-A-M-S-K-I?
Yes.
Okay, A-D-A-M-S-K-I, and you're with Ratu, right? Okay.
Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. You want to take, Adam?
Yeah, John, if you want to go ahead and discuss what you're here for the RUMA tonight for Bunker Hill, I assume, right?
Yes.
So,
Yep.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, John Ansky here I'm with Ritu, but I'm on behalf of Hillport for RUMA on Bunker Hill Road. It would be from 558, about 4.45 miles north to the pipeline crossing. And the RUMA I've already submitted it to Columbiana County, so the county commission, well, not commissioner, but county
Engineer.
and prosecutor have both approved the RUMA. I just have two, one for that we each have an original for each. And then I also have DVD of the video recording of its current condition, and it actually includes Bunker Hill as well as any other township roads that are currently under RUMA with Hillport. So
Do you have a
those-
copy? I'm sorry.
Yes.
No, I meant paper copy, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, you can give this to Pat, John.
Okay. Thank you.
Because you got, what, 2 originals?
Yeah, I have 2 originals. That way you could sign one, you retain that one, and then I'll take back one to the client, to Hillport.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Carl, there.
And we had discussions when we were out with B.J. Batterson, and John was there that day. We kind of discussed all this, and we got the input for the video, because the other two, RAR did not video anything, where we did. Prior to, Mel has it on the McNichol site in the Noker, so we suggested the Oakport video, so that's why those additional ones are on there.
Would like to read it if you want.
Do you have any questions now? Because this is the same format that we've used with the...
Yeah.
All the back part's the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the county document, actually, that was used.
Do we get one that's all pretty colored like this? Is it?
Well, yeah.
I just want to see the last page.
And I would assume that you want this agreement to take effect today?
Yeah, it would be, they actually are planning to start work about 3 weeks from today, but if you would approve it today, I assume it will be effective today.
Yeah, it's the standard film that we've been using. And like I said, Barry and I met out there with them and kind of discussed the things and walked some of the roads there and stuff, so we...
Okay, well, there's no reason not to do this tonight.
No,
We've seen enough of them.
Right, it's pretty clear what's going to happen. And really, with the pipeline traffic, it's going to be not near like traffic with the well sites.
Okay.
All those were loaded.
Second,
To accept the room as presented, right?
yeah,
Right.
4 months ago.
Okay. And then as long as I have a copy, I can...
Well, you'll have an original.
Okay. Okay, to accept the room as presented for Bunker Hill Road, or portions of them. Carl made the motion.
Second.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
This is mine then. Condition limit, you did that if you would?
Yeah.
Okay. Underneath that.
This was the original.
M-I-N-E-R. That's all right. I don't suppose that's a...
It could be.
Yeah, use an E-R.
That's the date it was done, yes.
Okay.
It was just done, and that's all, that's just the township road, and while we were out here, we did video on the county ones, so we put them on 2 different discs. So the county ones was good after. So, yeah, we're, if you have any questions or have difficulties, you can get let me know.
Okay.
We do A-N-S-K-R. We do A-N-S-K-R.
You want to check these over and then give us one?
Okay, sure.
I think they're all filled out.
Yeah, it should be.
We've only seen a dozen of them.
Yeah.
There you go, Pat.
I just want to copy.
I'll have it, yeah, well, let's see
And
how
I'd
you're saying.
make a copy of it too.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
Nope, that'd be it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks very much.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, the reason I kind of let him go first, Bob, was I was going to see, I assume that's why he was here about that, but Steve Burgess, who's with Earth Acquisitions, kind of runs the, he's a land agent, but he works under Hillport. And they had given me, I'd given them the ROWs to run the gas lines under the road, because you're working within the right-of-way. So I wanted to make sure we had the room first before we would go ahead and sign these to do, for under the road. And
Under Bunker Hill?
under Bunker Hill and Woodville to run the gas lines.
So they're two separate ones?
They are two separate. I have them just do them separate. Woodville already being under RUMA anyways,
Right.
so we're good there, but I just wanted to, I have, if you guys want them, there's diagrams that show the bore pits being off the right of way, and that's, no open cutting or anything like that. That's the two main things that we always staple down there.
What's his last name, Steve? Burgess, did you say?
Burgess?
Burgess?
Yes. And while you're looking at them there...
Is today the inspection date on the document?
Well, today would be, yes.
Okay. Because that's how we've done it in the past.
Yeah, we just been going by...
When we passed it.
Yep.
Okay.
16, 15 is this.
The crossing at Woodville will have no drive pipes because it is down over a hill, so they're going to access from the pad site on the one side. Then when they go to anyway, there won't be any drive pipes. As a lot of, in most crossings, you have to cross the ditch. But it's not, the line of sight is not safe to do that. So after discussions with them and meeting out there, we're going to access it from the pad side. Then when it becomes time to get to the other side, they're going to come out the pad, and they've made an agreement with the property owner that lives on top of the hill to use his driveway to come back in town and access it. There is no drive pipes at that location. At Bunker Hill, there will be one drive pipe that I'll give them a permit for to put a driveway culvert in there. But there's no line of sight issues at the Bunker Hill site.
Okay.
So this is the Bunker Hill one.
All right.
You're just going to put a culvert in there. Is that what you said?
At Bunker Hill, we will.
Yeah.
Like I said, the wood, I showed it the burial map, but the Woodville site is kind of unique that it's down over a hill and not a safe area just to go straight across.
Okay, so we need a motion approving the Woodville Road.
Run out of numbers.
I'll move that motion.
This one's for go under Woodville.
Right.
I'll second.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
And this is, what's this one called?
It's an ROW.
Yeah, right away, huh?
Yeah, I'll work with
No, I got it written right there, okay.
I'd like to copy that too.
Sure.
This is the other one, right? You need it?
Yeah, this is the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll copy this. And
And
this.
then I'll just take a copy of all
You
that.
can have the, well, or you want me to keep the originals?
I have a file, it doesn't matter.
Okay, cool.
If you copy me, I can't tell.
If I call a cop, call a couple too.
And then we need to do one for Bunker Hill Road.
Okay, 2014-46. And that is also a ROW?
Yes.
Okay. We need a right-of-way permit for, to go underneath of Bunker Hill Road, please, for acquisition, is that right?
Yeah, it's for Hill Court.
Okay.
So move.
Second.
Yeah, we'll just put that because he decides, when he signs, he puts authorized contractor Hill Court in.
Okay. Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes. Is Kim?
When you got it.
Yeah, ask her if she wants to give her a report.
Okay, so this is not the one, there was something I had to sign or something.
It was for the left few days, the W.I. one.
Is it my turn? I'm sorry.
It's your turn.
Well, as you know, we didn't quite have our iPhones up and running, but Verizon got me reset. Thank you, Barry, for letting me know it wasn't working. And they just fixed the township calendar, which had crashed on the website. So other than the fact that we've apparently started breaking all of our things, we're doing very well. We just said to Mel, this one can't have nice things. Other than that, very quiet, not much going on, just a lot of calls, a lot of further out appointments. People that decided that maybe the weather's going to break and they wanted to do something. Nothing of note.
Yeah, because when I called you, I didn't get any.
Yeah, it just
message.
rang and rang and rang. And then I was playing with it because it always looked like it was working. I had recorded a message and it was all good. Then it switched to the Verizon customer is not available, and I thought that's not right. So they were very nice and they walked me through. They had to reset and delete, and it was nice. I couldn't get any voicemails, so I didn't lose anything when she deleted and reset it in the system. And then I checked Mel's, and his was working fine from the get-go. So we should be good now. The nice thing about smartphones is, at least with the recent call list, I could go back and call if they were listed. I just called and said, you know, I'm very sorry. So there was 3 of those, and they all were very nice about it. One that you had told me about, I had already spoke to, and then, yeah.
You have to watch the 6s is what I'm finding about every week, and they just want to shut up, do a hard shut.
Oh, really? And
I
let it
did it the other
reset.
day. I noticed I wasn't getting very much activity on my phone. I shut it down. As soon as it come back on, emails popped up.
Oh, look, yeah. That's what I was just working on.
About once a week, I'll remember, I'll just do a hard shutdown.
Oh, good to
It
know.
seems to be okay. If I go a couple weeks and don't do it,
Good to know. I appreciate that. Because
Something
my
about the
personal
6.
one is the 4S, and apparently this little workhorse is going to be with me, and I never turn it off. So you're right. It's good.
before I never had issues like that. With the 6, and I hear a lot of different people that every once in a while do a hard shutdown. Because somehow it reboots it. That's something I don't know.
Yeah, Verizon was very responsive. She didn't make any excuses. I mean, I was on the phone with her for maybe 10 minutes, but I will say, you have that many set up something new. She said it was something on their end, and I don't know, I just sat there and she walked me through the whole thing and shut the phone down and restarted it.
I'm just talking about.
Knock on wood, I didn't have voicemail.
Were you two able to transfer all your data from the old one?
No.
There's no way to do that?
No, so that's what I'm going to do in my spare time. Like right now, I don't even have, I mean, the nice thing is with a phone like this, if I really need somebody, I just Google them, but I don't even have your
I'm
numbers.
going to say other guys. It's no- You
Yeah,
want
it
the name
doesn't,
up here.
I've never been able
We
to
don't
do that,
do
even when I switched my old phone to my
It's
personal
on this
phone.
name, yeah.
It's a whole different kind of, once you're on a smartphone, then you'll be able to, but to go from that old flip to, no, it doesn't work like that.
I just re-entered
Sorry?
them.
You had to re-enter them all?
Yeah, it didn't take that long, though.
I'm guilty of it, haven't done it yet, so it's like, I have like...
So you only had 3 numbers, she's got 300.
Right, I only had.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna now be that person like, sorry, can't call the health department anymore, I don't have their number. No, they're online. So, and Mel said, one thing we noticed, and I don't think it's a big deal, but what did we have to do, Mel? I had to do something, and I was only able to do it because you happened to be standing there, right? Remember, it was that Mel and Pat are the
Because our
actual-
names are on
the ones on the account.
Yeah.
So if any, and I'm cool with that, and I was surprised they were able to reset and do everything for me. I was afraid they were going to say, well, you're not Melvin Miller or Patricia Hoffmaster, so we're not going to help you. Because technically, I'm not really an approved user.
Yeah, but all you gotta do is call them and authorize
Yeah,
them to talk.
just FYI, but in the meantime, because right now, I really appreciate it, and thank you so much. It rides around in a bag, so it keeps going.
Because if you're on vacation or something, then she can handle it. And
Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, I probably have more time to deal with it than Mel does, so I'm happy to do that, but just so you know right now. But they were good about it, I was almost like, they're not.
Requesters Hillport? Requester is Hillport?
Other than that, we're good.
Okay. Carl?
Excuse me, Bob. Do we want to put this under, like I do everything under my name, address, or do you want to do it here?
Well, no, the mail comes to your place.
Right.
Yeah, I handle that.
I have nothing.
Another day in paradise?
Yes, something like that. Barry?
Just real quick, Pat, what did you get for Bob? You said at the beginning of the meeting you got Bob minutes, or
I'm sorry, when?
at the beginning of the meeting you said you gave Bob minutes?
Remember we had a public hearing regarding the closing? I wanted those minutes, and then I wanted the minutes of the meeting where we took the vote.
Do you, I've got a copy here if you want, so we can.
No, I have those. I have those, Pat. The reason
I
I
wasn't thinking along that line when you were asking me there.
The reason I was asked, I had a phone call today from staff rep from State Representative Gitter's office today, and it was just inquiring about the Norfolk filing with PCO and just where all that was at. He had a few questions, and he wanted to know if I knew anything about the project, so I explained to him about the project. I asked him if he could check with us, for us, to see if there's been a date set with PUCO on a public hearing or anything, so he was going to follow up with that for us. He was going to check on that, and I talked to him too, and I told him that one of my concerns with the project now is with the incentives not being on the table for the intersection. We had there was about $116,000 total that went away because of now with the involuntary, and that concerns me. So I reiterated that to him. He was going to carry that on to State Representative Ginther.
I'm sorry, who did you tell it to again?
To the staff rep that was calling on behalf of State Rep Tim.
Okay.
So I reiterated that to him. Those incentives were quite critical on that project. So as this unfolds, hopefully we'll see a date for the public hearing from PUCO, and we'll go from there. So other than that, that's all I have.
Okay.
Just give me a second, Bob.
Oh, okay.
I think he's waiting so that...
No, take your time.
Okay.
And I did advise him too that with our website, all the minutes are out there if he needed to look at anything from 2010 or 9, I think it was.
I think 2009 is when we started.
So I told him to look at those stuff too. And I also told him those dates. That's why when you said those dates, Pat, I knew it was the 12th was the public hearing and the 17th because I just got off the phone talking to that gentleman today. So.
Yeah, I just kept a copy of what I gave to Bob with...
And along those lines too, Mel and I worked, we got everything from that project from inception with the grants, with all the documentation. We have them in a file now back in the records from GOA it's in a file back there. And I said I was going to do that, but I finally had some time to get it all done, so we do have that done.
Yeah, there's a box back in the records room that's labeled that. And that's everything to do with that project out there. They spent a lot of hours putting together.
It takes a lot of hours. That's okay, real quick, note, I think it's right.
Okay, as far as we're a government entity.
Should we put a local government or no? Don't make it different. Requester's name and address. That's
We'll go right ahead.
like a copy,
I'll make it for you.
please.
That new copier is nice to have.
Isn't it?
Are you caught up?
No? I'll be, no, never mind.
I got a letter from the Columbiana Police Department. The police department and EMS Post 27 would like to use the empty house next door for training purposes. Remember when they did it in the big building years ago? I think Fred was around then.
Yeah, I remember.
They went over there, it took a couple days, and most of the time they're running around in the dark.
They did that. They filled it with smokes a few times, you know, like the firemen felt like it was a smoke-filled.
Yeah.
You know, they did some shooting with like paint.
Paintballs or something.
Yeah.
They had tear gas
Yeah.
and whatever else. But now they're asking that if they could be permitted to use the house next door. And I said, well, get me a letter, I'll bring it to the board. And, you know, if we approve this, then they can contact you as far as all the specifics of that. Because I explained to them it's a small house, only like a two-bedroom house.
What do you think, Mel?
It's not going to hurt anything, I don't think.
Yeah.
Got to make sure Burbick's not in there.
I move a motion we approve them.
I need to look at it before I know what to write here, Carl, but thank you.
So it's a pretty small area to practice in.
Well, it must be slim pickings.
It must be.
Because it's two-bedroom, it does have a basement, right?
Yeah.
So, I think they just want to walk around in the dark.
I wouldn't walk down there in the dark. Bump your head. It's pretty low clearance.
Columbiana Police and the EMS Post 27.
Yeah.
Specific scores for the young,
Pardon me?
you get the young people that do that are involved in that scores.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, just 1 minute. Yeah. Mr. Hung?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
Let me find a number here. It's 2014. 47. Anybody want a
Okay.
copy of that?
Yeah, I do. I'll just call him tomorrow then and tell him, Mel, which number do you want me to give him, your cell or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Mary Ann?
Oh, it's good right now. Thank you.
You got golfers out there?
We did earlier, before the raid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.